If you have a chick in your incubator that's having difficulty hatching, you're going to have to make a judgment call as to whether you assist them or if you continue to let them trying to come out of their shell on their own. I just recently had a bunch of chicks hatch in my incubator, and sadly this little chick here could not get out of her shell. She struggled to get out of her shell, and honestly, it was my fault. You see, what happened was all the chicks in the eggs all hatched except for this one. But I didn't know that at the time because there were so many chicks in the incubator that even though I could see 360 degrees around, I couldn't see her little egg in the middle of the incubator because of all the chickie babies running around that egg. And her shell was about halfway unzipped. So when I was removing the chicks from the incubator one at a time into the brooder, this little chickie who was half unzipped from her shell got vacuum sealed in her shell, which happens if the humidity in an incubator drops quickly. The reason that they call it lockdown during day 18 through hatching day is because you are essentially not supposed to open up that incubator until everyone has hatched. This was 2 days after hatching day, and it appeared as if everyone had hatched, but I should have looked for longer and harder and just made sure that I didn't miss any, because this baby was on her way to hatching. So always try your best to see if everybody has hatched before you open up an incubator. So when you see that the hatching egg is partially unzipped and it appears as if the layer inside of the hatching egg is dry, that is what vacuum sealing looks like, and you need to get that chick out. However, the chick needs to be ready to come out, and that's where the judgment call comes in, because there's a fine line, because they need to have absorbed the yolk from the hatching egg and be actually ready to hatch. In this case, this baby was already unzipping, so I felt comfortable that she was ready to come out of the egg. So I went ahead and removed her hatching egg from the incubator, and using a tweezer that I sterilized with alcohol, I slowly peeled away the eggshell. By opening up the incubator before this chick was fully hatched, I essentially vacuum sealed her to her eggshell and the inner membrane of the egg. So I had to help her get out of her egg by removing the eggshells and the inner and outer membrane. That was stuck to her feathers, and it was not an easy process to get it off of her. It was a very slow and gentle process. Luckily, it went well, and I was able to get her out of the egg safely. And well, 6 days later, here she is. She's doing great. She's eating and drinking well, and she's keeping up with the other chicks. And I'm slowly removing the eggshell off of the chick. The white part here is all dry, and it should stay nice and moist through the hatching process. So this is what they call vacuum sealing. So this chick has been struggling to get out because of the vacuum sealing, so I did a little assisting, removing the outer eggshell to give it a chance to try to do it on its own, but that didn't work, so now we are assisting some more. And that's just Sven, my dog, in the background, groaning. He wants to participate in helping this chick. You just have to be very slow, very gentle, trying to remove it. Almost there, little baby, almost there. There's an area over here that's really dry, right here. So I'm going to use scissors to try to trim some of that. Hello, welcome to the world. Alright, we still got a little bit of egg. Still got a little egg left on you. Oh no, it's stuck to your poor little feathers. So this here, being stuck to the feathers like this, is not supposed to happen. This is why during lockdown you shouldn't open up the incubator until all the chicks have hatched. So even with my 360 incubator, my visibility was blocked from all the chicks in the incubator. And this chick, unfortunately, there, you're free. I'm gonna go put this baby back in the incubator. Can you spot the chickie baby that was stuck in the eggshell? It's the one that still has a little bit of eggshell stuck to her back. Right there in the middle. Because she still has a little bit of eggshell stuck to her feathers. I had removed as much as I could at the time of hatching, but with how stuck it was in her feathers, I wanted to give her a chance to eat and drink, rest up before I stressed her out with removing the rest of this. So today, now that she's 6 days old and doing great, we are going to gently use warm water to try to remove the last of this eggshell. And then we will blow dry her all nice and dry so that she will be looking absolutely gorgeous and eggshell free. I'm just going to use a cotton ball and some warm water. You want the temperature of the water to feel comfortable on your wrist.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to farm a wicked awesome farm? Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show you. Yeah, welcome to our show. Whoa. Just one more story farm.
Under her wing. There's no damage. This hairdryer does not get very hot, so I'm able to use the high setting for the heat, but the low setting because I don't want to blow the chick off the counter. So we just do a low fan. Two minutes of blow drying, and this baby looks good as new. She didn't seem to like the blow drying at first, but once she got used to the noise of it, she settled right in. I'm very happy that I was able to save this baby, and I've learned from this that I'm going to be even more careful when checking to see when I can remove my chicks from the brooder, because this was an eye-opening experience to almost lose a chick because of poor visibility and removing the other chicks from the brooder too early. Every hatch is going to be different, so you just need to use your judgment and decide when is the best time to move your chicks out of the incubator and into the brooder. Typically, chicks will hatch all within 1 to 2 days of each other, but you can sometimes have chicks that hatch later, and so you need to make a call as to when you're going to remove your chicks. And in the past, I've been able to remove chicks while other eggs hadn't started pipping yet, and that has been successful. But as you can see this time, I thought everybody had hatched and I missed this little girl. So you just need to do your best, and if you make a mistake, learn from it and do your best to correct that mistake. This little chickie baby just fell asleep, so I'm going to take her back to the brooder and let her finish her nap. I'm going to go put her in the brooder, and you're welcome to check out my incubation playlist as well as my other videos.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're learning to farm like me. There is so much more to see. If you're planning on heading elsewhere, buggy you we. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This really is the place to be.